My name is Valerie White-Williams, and I would like to welcome you to my channel, Cosmic Splendor. And this is where I get to talk about spirituality and astrology and how to survive in a good place on the world right now. So I feel like I really need to talk a bit more to you guys about clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. That's literally what it means. And it is focused in the third eye. So that is really your pineal gland and the pituitary gland. And really the third eye is back behind your eyes. Now, the reason why I think this is so important is that we are living now in the kingdom of lies. Lie, 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 lie. Now, one of the things when I trained as a clairvoyant in the CDM Psychic Institute, it used to be called the Washington Psychic Institute, and it came from the Berkeley School of Psychic Institute. So that's the lineage that I studied with. And I studied almost 30 years ago, and I am so grateful for what I've learned. And it totally changed my life, and it helped me learn to create the life that I wanted. But one of the things it did is it kept me from being deceived. Because when you study clairvoyance, you're looking the truth from the lie. And right now we are living in a kingdom of lies on so many levels. Our culture and the worldview is filled with lies because we've been ruled by an elite group of not very nice people, and they don't really care about us. And so they have really perfected ways to keep us in an illusion, an illusionary game and rules in place. And it's been pretty prolific. So what can we do to break out of the prison of lies that we've been raised in? It's hard because we have a lot of social conditioning. That's one of the things. We feel that we have to be like others. And that's one of the biggest programs, is shaming people for not following the rules. And who sets the rules? Well, the controllers do. That's what it is. We are all basically living in a slave colony, to be honest. And I learned that many, many years ago as a clairvoyant student. And I also learned that from this great book called Robert Monroe. He wrote Journeys Out of the Body, and he also wrote Far Journeys. And I highly, highly recommend those books. He actually later went on to create what they call the Hemisync program, which is helping people get out of body and heal their bodies. And that training has gone into what we call like what the military has used for remote viewing and all those things. Now, these things have been going on for quite a long time, but it's always been hush hush. But we all have the ability to train in this way. So I'm going back to the truth and the lies. So here's the thing. One of the first things we had to learn is to take back our spiritual perspective, because we can't see truth from lies if we're in what we call the analyzer. And our analyzer is our brain. So some people, and in fact our culture, thinks that the mind is the highest pinnacle of human success, but it's not. It's just a tool. It's just a programmer. It's just something that is a processor. It's like you're gonna take your calculator and go, wow, my calculator is amazing. Well, a calculator only works when somebody puts data in it. Okay, that's what the mind is. It's only a calculator. So when we want to see truth from lie, we need to get behind the mind. We are always taught that we can't just think about it. We need to step back, because that's how we get clear with our clairvoyance. The other thing is that sometimes it's just easier to close your eyes, because when you close your eyes, you're not going to be distracted of what you see. Now, as you get better, you can see, and what you see is not going to influence you as much, because sometimes, exactly, some of these really creepy people, it's hard to see what they're saying. Like the people that go, yeah, we're going to be, barricaded for years. So if someone's smiling when they're saying stuff like that, that's incongruent. That's not what people would really act like. They're lying. So you can tell when people are lying because what you're seeing isn't matching what they're saying. Now, there's body language. That's another thing. That's classic body language. If someone is smiling when they're talking about tragedy, no, that's not how it works. You're going to be upset and scared and concerned, and your voice is going to change. But, we're going to have lockdown forever. No. Don't trust those people. They're lying. Okay, that's easy. That's just body language. But you can look at it a different way. But you have to look it away from the mind. You need to actually trust your inner guidance. And that takes time because we are all taught not to do that. You know, children have natural wisdom. They know their truth. But when they go to the schools, the training systems, they are taught to look up to authority, do what the teacher tells you. You're just supposed to be a blank slate and just let it all be absorbed. So this has been going on for a very long time, is that people have been taught to not listen to their intuition, not listen to their inner guidance. Now, intuition is another way of tuning within and getting some information. Now, some people get information because they get a download. Some people get information because they see pictures. Some people get information because they feel it in their body. They feel like in their stomach, like it's like, this doesn't feel right. It's like a physical feeling in their body. Some people actually feel the vibration of emotions in the room, or they can sense the emotional intent. So the issue with this is that sometimes we still have biases. We like certain people. We want to fit in. We are taught that this is good and this is bad. We don't want to be shamed for something that's not right. So it's really difficult to get yourself to be at a point where you can see neutrally. So that's another thing that people aren't doing, is they don't understand that neutrality is key. If you're all riled up emotionally, then you can't see clearly. In fact, that was another part of our training. We had to not only really spend time in meditation, so we were very centered in our space. We had to let go of the day, let go of the biases. So a lot of that was having a protocol to let go of things that were keeping us from a neutral place, whether it was a bad day, past time energy, past time things that affected our belief system. We're really letting go. So you can't just want to be spiritual if you're coated with all this programming and pain and things like that, because you're just going to read your own pain. You're going to read your own pain pictures. So the way to be clear is you have to let go of all that stuff. And there's practices and protocols that you can use to do that. And you kind of have to be disciplined. It's not a one-time thing, because there's lots of layers and things will always start to trigger us. So you cannot be clairvoyant if you're triggered. So that's a big thing right now. We're triggering everybody with race, with religion, with politics. Everybody's triggered. But as long as you're triggered, you will not be able to see clearly. I'm going to say that again. If you are triggered, you cannot see clearly. It's like an engine that's flooded. So you have to turn within, do some breathing. In fact, that's one of the easiest things to do, is use your breath to let go of all the triggering emotions, all the things that aren't real, being triggered over a word or being offended. You need to actually let go of all those things so you can just be there in the moment and see what comes up. And that's scary, because we're taught to use our mind to make decisions. We're taught to look to authority to tell us what to do. But that we are sovereign beings and we have our own information and we have this deep wisdom within us. But we have to do a lot of clearing to get to that place. So if you're just starting out, I suggest you just close your eyes, think of what's bothering you or a situation, and just think of blowing it down your spine to your grounding cord into the bottom of the earth. We call that grounding. Now, grounding is used in a lot of different other areas, like having your feet on the earth, or just you're just like down to earth person. But we were taught the real truth about grounding, whereas we are energetic beings, and anything that has energy has a grounding cord. And our grounding cord in our body goes to the center of the earth. And how to visualize that as a giant stem or waterfall, and just allowing, breathing anything that is not in harmony with you down your grounding cord. That's a real simple thing. You can use your breath. So that's probably one of the easiest ways to release things that you don't want. Breathe in what you want, release what you don't want. And that might take a while. You might have to do lots of breathing to get yourself in that centered place, which is not in your mind, not trying to figure things out. If you're trying to figure things out, you're not in that clairvoyant place. So this is just a foundation for you guys to start with. Think of that grounding cord, think of the breath, and just realize that if you're triggered or emotionally Twitter pated it or whatever it is, we cannot see clearly. And just know we have lots to clear before we can really come into our true radiance, which is coming. All right, let me know if this resonated with you and how I can help you more, clear out the lies to make you into the radiant, splendorous being that you truly are. So let me know in the comments below what you might need some help with or what you want me to talk about. I have so much to talk about. I could never cover everything. So that's exciting. I also want to let you know of my group called Creative Soul Alignment. And that is a group I have on Facebook. It's a free Facebook group where we all share about creativity and also spirituality, because when we are creating, we are doing both. So if you're interested in spirituality, you're welcome there. So if you're like arts, same thing. So I'd love to see you there in that group. All right, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.